Hey, it's EG. Welcome to the audio version of the Be Yourself Marketing newsletter. And if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, there are real conversations with entrepreneurs just like you, and they're building on their own terms because your best marketing strategy is the one you were born with. Find it wherever you listen. Now, let's get into the newsletter. Looks great, doesn't sell. And here's why. You know the saying, you get your best ideas in the shower? Well, this week I've literally been living it, except it's been a combination of rain and snow showers. I spoke with two marketing coaching clients last week, and both have potential new customers. One loves pickleball and wants to work at the club that just opened up in their area. The club's trying to do the marketing themselves, and you guessed it, they're just not getting the foot traffic that they want. The other wants to help a family-owned kitchen and bath remodeling company. Now, this company is generating interest, but it's the wrong people. They're just tire kickers, or they're looking for a Park Avenue look on an IKEA budget. What's interesting is both companies are using social media, mostly Facebook, and they are posting regularly. New pickleball club, now open. Just finished this bathroom reno. Now, there's a surprisingly small gap between copy that converts and copy that just takes up space. Rarely is there a need to literally start from scratch. Usually it's just a few nips and tucks that can make a big impact without spending the big budget. And there's a deceptively simple framework that maps it out better than anything I've seen. And in my scramble to box stuff up in and around my tent and trailer so things wouldn't turn into slop in this weird rain weather, reminded me that we need to be careful how we pack boxes. The magic square test. Now, I learned this from David Deutsch, who learned it working for Ogilvy and Mather. They're the real-life agency that inspired the TV series Mad Men. Now, David worked there in a very different era than Don Draper, but the obsession with getting every single word right, that part's always in style. The framework he calls the magic square comes down to two things: promise and believability. So the promise is the benefit that they'll get. Now notice I said benefit and not feature. Now, how relevant is the promise, and how much does it actually matter to the reader? Then you have believability, or let's just go with proof, which is whether you can actually trust that they're going to deliver. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. You need both. Not one or the other, both. So, because you're listening, you'll have to picture a simple grid with 4 boxes. On the vertical up and down axis, you've got promise. And then going across, left to right, you've got proof. Okay, with me? Box 1 is the hype zone. So that's where you're going to have high promise and low believability. This is your typical bro marketer territory. And you've seen these promos everywhere. Somebody's running some sort of an ad that sounds something like, join 10,000 entrepreneurs already making 10K a month with this one simple system. Now, maybe the number is real. Maybe the system works. But there's nothing in that post that makes you believe any of it. Where's the proof? Because it doesn't matter how good your offer actually is if people don't believe it. Now imagine some stranger offers to sell you their Ferrari for $10,000. Even if some part of you thinks it's not stolen and you won't get arrested, you're still probably not buying because you're wondering, what's wrong with it? It's too good to be true. The promise is incredible with zero proof. That means no sale. Now, box number 2 is going to be your opposite: high believability, low promise. The who cares box. This one's sneaky because it feels responsible. You're not over-promising, you're being real and credible. It literally is the opposite to the hype. That's a good thing, right? I mean, think about that kitchen and bath company. They're posting, just finished this bathroom reno with a gorgeous photo. Beautiful work. And the exact kind of post that's going to generate likes. But where's the offer? Who's it for? Why should somebody with a dated bathroom act today? Sure, the reader's going to trust that they can do a good job. They're just not given a reason to do anything about it now. Now, the business is expecting them to assume the next step is to come and buy. And we all know what happens when you assume. Because trusting someone isn't the same as having a reason to buy from them. When someone knows, likes, and trusts you, but sees no benefit that they actually care about, then that's when you're stuck in the who cares box. So credibility without a reason to buy is just a nice reputation with a bad bank balance. Now we've got box number 3. This is the back to the drawing board fail box. You've got low promise, low believability. So the pickleball club now open. That was the entire post. And they couldn't figure out why no one was showing up. No promise. What's in it for the reader to check out? No proof. Who are they? Who else is going? There's nothing to get excited about and nothing to believe in. So that leaves us box number 4, the sold sweet spot. You've got high promise, high believability. This is where you want to plant your flag with every single piece of promotional material. Here's what it actually looks like when both are working together. Now imagine a coach is running an ad that says 87 students, 90 days, every single one landed their first paying client. Applications open now. I'm going to say that again. 87 students, 90 days. Every single one landed their first paying client. Applications open now. The promise is right there. You'll get a paying client. The proof is there too. 87 real people, a specific timeline, a specific result. There's no fluff, no adjectives, no "I'm passionate about helping you succeed." Just evidence that speaks for itself. That's your sweet spot. Sold. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It just makes the case so clearly that saying yes becomes the obvious next move. So how do you figure out which box you're in? Now, this is where we get a little practical and maybe uncomfortable. So you want to grab 2 highlighters. I'm going with yellow for every promise in your copy. Every benefit claim, all the results you're dangling, each you'll get. And then I'm going to go with green for every proof element. You pick your own colors. But green for a testimonial with a specific result, or a stat, or a case study, some sort of before and after. A credential that actually means something to your reader. Now look at what you've got. You have mostly yellow with almost no green. You're in the hype zone. Every single claim needs a proof partner. You got mostly green with almost no yellow. You're in the who cares box. The credibility's there. Now you just have to make the offer. You got neither color anywhere? Well, then pickleball club, now open. You're going back to the drawing board. Now, here's another way to look at it before you start writing. Make a list and check it twice. Here's the step David emphasizes that most people skip. Make that list. So for every promise or benefit that you have in your copy, write down the proof you have for it. Specifically, not general results, proof that's relevant to this reader's situation and to that specific promise. Because people don't just need to believe you've helped someone else. They need to believe you can help them. What's in it for them? Now, the magic square is not really all that complicated. It just has 2 questions your promo has to answer every single time. Do they want what you're promising? Do they believe you can actually deliver it? And if the answer is yes to both, you're in that sweet spot. Sold. If not, it's time to change things up. Now, full disclosure, I've written a lot of who care posts myself, and that kind of feel responsible and get completely ignored scenario, I'm too busy trying not to sound like that pro marketer that I don't like, that I forget to actually make an offer. So here's my attempt at practicing what I preach. If you want to know which box your marketing is sitting in right now and how to fix it, I'll do a magic square review with you. We'll look at your promotions, run the highlighter test together, make the promise and proof list, and we'll check it twice. Because once you know what to fix, you'll also get the how. So it's not just what to add, but how to say it. That way you can walk away knowing precisely what's missing and how to close that gap. Now, here's my proof that add some clarity to my practice. Dr. Bernadette Stockwell, a client of mine, says, I've made more progress in the past 5 weeks than I have in the last 2.5 years. And then Lauren Lucas, another client, different industry, said, I've gained more followers in 1 day with this campaign than all of last month before working with you. Fast, specific, no fluff. So if you're tired of posting and hearing crickets, reach out. Let me know. We'll schedule something to get into your sweet spot box. Make it a great, evenly highlighted week.